Radio. My name is not important. But what I can say is this is essentially a podcast about everything and everything. Everything and anything, essentially. If I want to talk about crime fighting or the war or politics, movies, stuff that's not important, things that are on my mind, essentially, then, I'll cover it. This is, of course, the first and hopefully of many, but, this is kind of weird. This is weird. I'm not going to lie. If you're listening to me, you're crazy, and you also need help. So, there we go. I guess we'll get the show on the road. I currently live in Canada, right? Well, I always lived in Canada. I was born here. So, I don't know why I say I currently live there when the fuck I lived where? Like, Mexico? I don't know. But yeah, so I live in Canada. Lived there my whole life. 35 years old. In August. And, I'm not gonna lie, man. This country's a little messed up right now. We just had an election, which was pretty much weird. I mean, it came down to Pierre Poilievre versus Mark Carney, right? A little brief summary of this, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to butcher this, and everyone online is going to be like, you're an idiot, but I don't care. Mark Carney, the businessman, from Bank of London, Bank of England, I don't know, one of the banks over there, who gives a crap, and also helped out in the Harper administration as well during the financial crisis of 2008, right? And then you have Pierre Poilievre. Interestingly enough, both these guys have worked for Harper. Pierre Poilievre, to me, I don't hate him. I think that he would have been a good choice, only because the Liberals, quite frankly, have been, in charge for 10 years. And according to the news, or if it's right, that Carney essentially was advising Trudeau for 5 years or so. So that's kind of crazy. He just said, hey, I'm an outsider, when in fact he's more of an insider than one. Now, I'm not one of these guys where it's like, I hope to God you fail. Nah, because I live here. You know what I mean? It's like, do you really want the guy leading your country to fail? I don't. Whether it was Pierre Poilievre in charge or, Carney who's in charge now, I hope to God what you were saying is true. Turns out certain things weren't true. I don't know if this is misinformation, but apparently he got rid of the tariffs a few days before the election, before people started to go out and vote. And now this digital service thingy, he put a tariff on it. I don't know what I'm saying. Essentially, he's gonna put tariffs on Netflix, Hulu, Microsoft, Amazon, American tech companies, and Trump's like, hell no. No business relations. So it's kind of weird because, this is the guy that said, elbows up, I know how to deal with Donald Trump, I'm gonna essentially, he's like, I'm gonna essentially get this deal done before the G7. Well, he said that recently. He didn't say that during the election, but how it is, man. Politics and politics, man. People say a lot of crazy stuff. They say they're going to do, and then they literally don't do it, or they do the complete opposite of what they're going to do, or pretend like they didn't do it at all, or say they didn't say it at all. Yikes, this is crazy, man. I'm not going to lie. Who did I vote for? That's none of your damn business. Actually, I'm not gonna lie. I am a liberal. I normally go liberal. But ironically, correction. Let me start over again. I am a liberal person, meaning my views tend to align with the Liberal Party of Canada. And if I was in America, it'd probably be the Democratic Party. Right? So, oh man, Trudeau versus Harper. I'm fairly new to politics at that time. And I don't know a damn thing about what's going on in politics, but what I do know is that I did not like Justin Trudeau. Not because, why not? I didn't like him because it just seemed like a Nepo baby. And I didn't think that's what liberals were about. Like, I thought that was like a conservative thing. It's like this guy who has a last name. So it's like, oh, he's like royalty in a sense. So therefore, we should vote him in because of his last name. And that's essentially what got him in position. And that's essentially what got him to win. But for me, it's just like, this guy literally took the express train to the front and is now running the country. And I believe one of his what's that word you say? Damn it. Sound bites is that the budget will balance itself out. Which is freaking crazy. Holy smokes, man. Listen, I'm not trying to be a political podcast guy, right? I'm just giving you my 1-2 here. You know what I'm saying? This is weird as hell. I think this is kind of lame that I'm doing it, but I'm doing it. Right? The country's kind of in the toilet right now, so, God forbid. But yeah, so that happens, right? And I believe Harper's campaign was he's just not ready. And boy, were they not wrong at all. They were telling the truth 100%, man. This guy, he legalized weed, and that was cool. I don't smoke weed, I don't do drugs, I don't touch that shit. But he also, I believe, what's the Western Pipeline? He pushed that through. That worked out. Cost like 5 times the amount it was supposed to cost. I can't get mad at that. He did his thing there. But everything else, Jesus smokes, man. That was, you kind of just smash shit the bed, bro. And I'll say this, I give dude credit because look, I'll just say this, man. This man is bulletproof. This man wore blackface, he wore brownface, and people still voted him in. I'm like, what? This is insane. Anyone else, they're screwed. Anyone else, the political party's finished. He should have stepped down from that, in my honest opinion, but I don't know crap about politics. It's one of those things where you feel like you know so much, and then some more things come out, and you're like, yeah, I have no clue what I'm talking about. So 2025, what day is it today? It's July 30th. July 30th, yeah. So I'm here thinking I know so much about this stuff, and then like some new things come out, and I'm like, oh, that's not how it works. Okay, cool. So therefore, I have no idea what I'm talking about, and this is a podcast, if we want to call it that. I guess we'll call it that. About the fact that I'm a person that's just venting, So if you take my stuff serious and you're like, oh, we should cancel you, we should dox you, how dare you, bro, get a grip, lady, get a grip, calm down, relax, breathe, go listen to the other podcasts that, that more so aligns with you. I don't know. But yeah, man, this Trudeau dude, he's a popular guy, Simpsons cartoon, all the other crap. and it just slowly just started eroding. This COVID stuff, man. I'm not even gonna get into that. Jesus, this is gonna end before it even started. Let's just jump to Mark Carney, man. Mark Carney, we're back to Mark Carney. So, this guy, he wins. And apparently people are mad because he's not implementing some conservative policies. And he's put military spending to 2% this year. And which, hey, I'm all for increasing military spending. I just think that, we got to audit the stuff. We got to figure out what we're spending our money on and what shouldn't we spend our money on. And how much of the money actually goes to the things that it needs to go to, instead of just saying 2%, here you go. Right? So, I don't know. I guess beggars can't be choosers. Right? I don't know. But they also said that this guy doesn't have a plan, and they plan to shut down Parliament for the summer. Especially when this guy, Trump, puts another 25% on steel and aluminum. And now it's at 50%. And yeah, he's cut off talks to us at all. Like, that's crazy, bro. That's insane. I don't know, man. That's kind of the opposite of what he said. But at the same time, you're dealing with Trump. But you did say that you knew how to handle this guy. So my question is to the mainstream media, and it's an objective question, because they are giving him the leeway. They're not lighting him up on fire. They're not killing this guy. They're not trying to execute this guy. If this was Pierre Poilievre and he won, and everything is the same scenario, would you give him the same grace? I think the answer would be no. Right? I think it'd be no. They would tell this guy to step down, resign. This is what we're expecting. So I see the craziness within this thing called Canadian politics and news. But at the same time, when you say that you're not going to fund legacy media in Canada, that also helps to them just saying, we don't like you. So that's crazy. Yeah, I'm not going to talk about politics right now. I'm sorry. Wow, this took a turn. I don't know. Anyways, let's look at this, the personal thing, right? Like, I guess today we're talking about politics. I don't know. I'm gonna say we're, like, there's more than one person here. That's weird. Yeah, so I'm talking about politics today. It's weird. It's just like, what's the next 2 to 4 years gonna look like? You know what I mean? Like, apparently we built 260 houses in Canada, and we bring in so many people. And listen, I don't know if you can tell based on my voice, I am a byproduct of immigration. But then again, based on anyone's voice, how can you tell if they are or aren't, right? I don't know, that's weird. Needless to say, I am not against immigration. I love immigration. I think it's the greatest thing ever. I just think that when we don't have a plan, we plan to fail. And if we fail, the thing that we, give credit to ourselves about is the thing that's going to, choke and strangle us. And I think that's what happened. All these Western world countries have, a negative birth rate. And to specify, white people have a negative birth rate. The Western world is, well, right? And other ethnicities, whether, people of color, black people, brown people, Asian people, I think, Asian people, like Chinese people, their populations are still booming, right? So, interestingly enough, what do? Well, you can't replace the current population based on the birth rate that you have. And culture tends to either be gone or lost, or just, becomes like French fries. Like, yeah, it's called French fries, but like, Everyone has French fries. We don't really know where it came to be. Maybe it came from France. It probably did, but at the same time, what the hell? Like, you know what I mean? Like, everyone has them. It's not like, ooh, you're cultured for eating fries, you know? It's not how it works anymore. So, a lot of people are a little worried about that in Canada, per se. But at the same time, if you're not Quebec, or, you know, the eastern provinces, I don't know. Like, what is the Canadian culture? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we have universal healthcare. America doesn't. But, like, what is it? If 3 people are listening to this, or anyone is listening to this, just let me know what the hell it is. I love Canada. I'm not hating on this country. I'm just saying, what is the Canadian culture? Because, you know, and like I said, if you're bringing so many people in, you know, renting prices go up because people can't afford to buy homes, you know. So yeah, people can't afford to buy homes, so they want to rent, and then in turn, renting prices go up, and we don't get the capacity to build the homes, because if we're building, I think 260,000, 100,000, and we're bringing in 460,000, I don't know how many people we're bringing in, but apparently it's because we don't, you know, foreign workers and all this stuff. I don't want to get into it too much, but fuck. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care. Like, come to Canada. The problem that I have is that it's not so much about the immigrants coming to Canada. It's the fact that we lie to immigrants about coming to Canada. You know, these people come here. They take the risk. Some of them can't even speak the language and want to come here. Although it's debatable whether people should come here and not know the language. Some people know like 4 languages, so I can't really say anything. But they take the risk and they want the dream that's been advertised and sold to them, and they come here. And, you know, not everyone can get a job, even if you are from foreign. So they end up, you know, poor or destitute. And the crazy thing about it is there's so many Canadian citizens that are like this, you know. And it's just like, what do you do? Like, what do you do? Because it's not something you can do overnight. And it's crazy. Because now if you're not working, I'm not working. You know, our system that is like universal healthcare needs people to work in order to fund, right? And then just like that, you know, poorly funded, wait lines are even longer. And shoot, where's money coming from? We're printing more money. So that's tough. I don't know. We got to get that thing addressed. I don't know. That's crazy. I don't know what to say about that. You know, so yeah, we lie on these people. They come here and some of them actually go back home because it's just too crazy. And then some people take advantage of the fact that immigrants are coming here, whether they're from Sri Lanka, India, Pakistan, you know, Ukraine, you know, what's the other one? Syria, you know, random shit. They take advantage of these guys. Usually more so the Indians. They'll like have them in like basement apartments where it's like 20 people in there. And I'm like, this is insane. This is truly insane. I don't know. I'm just saying. And then not only that, there's another side to this as well. The fact that some of these people, a good portion of them I should say, come here on false pretenses. And you know, good enough to stay, good enough to work. I don't know what the hell the slogan was. I don't know. But it's so crazy. You know, people look back at Harper and say, yo, that guy wasn't so bad. And me, I'm like, I don't know. I'm not going to be like, yo, vote for Harper. No, I'm not going to say all that. I'm just simply stating that we got to move forward. And in my honest opinion, I don't think that the guy that's currently running things should have won, but that's not up to me. It is what it is. Oh man. 20 minutes and 13, 14, 15 seconds. This is crazy. I don't know if this is like therapeutic. I don't know. I have a fan blowing in the back, so. Oh man. I don't know. This is crazy. Hold on. What else do I want to talk about here? Politics. Jeez. I remember when I was younger. Jeez, I know I'm really old. I remember I was younger and like this politics stuff was just not it, man. I could care less about CNN. I could care less about a lot of things, man. It's just PlayStation and N64, man. That was it for me. And yeah, that was it. That was literally it. That was my life as a kid. And going outside. Now I don't go outside and I just watch the news. And I'm also overweight, so, that's also a factor in it all. Oh my gosh. But you're old when you say when I was young. That's insane. Oh my God. That is insane. And this thing called life is a joke. Like, it's not a joke, but it's like, there's irony, there's the big joke that God gives you where it's just like you're young and then you want to be so much older than you really are, and then you become that age, and then just like that you wish about being younger and kind of playing certain events. I don't know, man. I keep saying every year I'm going to do something different. I do. But it's just, damn it, man. Like, we as humans, and I'm going to speak for myself, really. It's just like, you always tend to go back to what you were. Not in the sense of who you were, but you have a routine that you want to follow, and there's a routine that your body, your mind, and your soul autonomously follow, whether you agree with it or not, whether you think it's good or not. And it's not always the greatest thing. Like, I write in the journal daily, and as writing when I was doing this, I realized that it's insane, because by December, November of every year, October, November, December, and then January, February, March, it is damn near every single thing I do literally repeats itself. And I'm just like, oh my God, this is insane. So like now I'm more self-aware of it. And now I gotta take care of the summer situation. So that's also cool. That is also cool. It's not cool. It's stupid as hell, but it's the truth. It needs to be addressed. My God. But yeah, like, being young, like, I remember, like, those things where you lift off your knees and like you end up like doing a squat and then standing up. Bro, I cannot even, I'm on my knees and just the thought of doing that scares the hell out of me. I am doomed. Oh my God, what the heck, man. I've become what I've hated the most, an old guy. Oh my God. But yeah, this is, I don't know. I'm not really like, I'm just saying, I'm 35, I'm still young, but Jesus, man, that's insane. Remember when like we're young, like let's say we're 15 years old, let's say, and you're like, when I'm 25, I'm gonna have a house, and I'm gonna have a wife and kids. I remember saying shit like that. Like, what the hell was I thinking? Like, this economy, man. I ain't getting no damn house at 25, man. As soon as I knew I was 25, I'm like, yep, that ain't happening. Then I became 29. I'm like, oh my God, I'm almost off the calendar. And for those who don't understand that meaning, it means that, if I'm 29, then in February, I am completely off the calendar because February's got what, 28 days? Was it got 29? It was a leap year. So so technically 30. Then I'd be off of the calendar for February. So then you look at all the other dates, the months, and be like, oh, okay, 31st. Okay, ha ha ha, I'm still there. And then once you're like 32, you're like, yeah, that's not happening no more. It's crazy. Oh my God. It's crazy, man. I'm telling you, it's so weird. And you're like, yo, I'm gonna have so much money saved up. Bro, I am like broke. I'm doomed out here in these streets. I am fucked. Like, yo, it's tough. That's all I'm gonna say. It is truly tough. That, like, damn it. But I don't know. I'm falling asleep a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I'm just being real with you guys. This is really weird. So like, what I promised myself is I'm not gonna like snore if I fall asleep on this thing. I'm gonna just hit stop and then just keep the hell moving. But yeah, what was I gonna say? Yeah, when you're old and whatnot, right? Yeah, you're an old guy. Like, could you imagine that? Like, that's so weird. That's so weird. Like, you're old. Like, oh God. Ugh. Now you just things that things that you used to watch, or play. I still like my cartoons. I'm not gonna deny that. More nostalgic than anything. But like now, as an older man, I am like watching HGTV and I'm like, oh my God, the Property Brothers are on. This is amazing. I gotta watch this crap. Or the Listed, or was it Buy It, Love It, or Listed? I don't know, man. It's just, and then the flippers, and then, oh my God, and then the people that want to renovate. And I'm like, it does not take like 4 days. This is just TV nonsense. That business took like months. You know what I mean? Like, to renovate someone's house, it took months, like 3 days, my ass. And then you bring them in there and say, oh, this is gonna cost $250,000 more. Oh. And they always be like, I don't know, that's too expensive. How am I gonna do this? And they always like look at like, it's usually the woman they always like shit on. Like, the guy always like, the Antichrist, he's like, yo, get this instead. Oh, sell your house. No, but like, it's always the woman. They always want to look at the woman like she's an asshole and be like, oh, I can't do it for this much. And then somehow they just miraculously just pull out $250,000. And I'm like, what? See, like, I'm looking for work. How do you guys do that? Like, what the hell? You just pull $250,000 out of nowhere? And I think the theory is they have to say that every once in a while because, it gives the show a little bit more spice. I'm pretty sure they already, like, everything was covered and they just have to say all the little stupid dialogues to make it a show, right? So reality TV ain't even reality. It's fake. It's complete fake. They take like 17 takes just to do this stupid show. You can tell. Okay, act more excited. Oh my God, this is amazing. When they reveal the house or the renovated area. That's what they do, man. They do that everywhere. They do that with like 90 Day Fiance. They do that with like everything. But like, yeah, like the point is I'm getting older and I'm watching like stuff like that. And like, I want to know what's going on in the world so I can pretend like I know what the hell I'm talking about. With, Trump and the rest of the world, let's say. I don't want to like ruin everything I'm going to say possibly tomorrow. Nah, I'm probably going to do this tomorrow. I'll probably do I'll probably just wait a few days to see what happens, If I don't admit myself to like the crazy house or something like that. I don't know, man. I'm crazy like that. But,
Yeah, man. I think